Greetings and salutations, everybody. We are back with more Feng Shui 2nd Edition in Imperial China. Hooray!
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 Jubilation.
All right. So when we left off last time, you all had been ambushed by some snake men demons, a giant demonic serpent, an ice sorceress, and a bunch of quote human bandits end quote. Well, they were definitely humans. Whether they were actually bandits or not seemed a little dubious.
They might be bandits, I see. Okay.
They might be giants.
No, they were very much not giants.
They might be pirates.
Viper Man, poisons goat man.
I mean, that happened.
Goat man falls over. Goat man's dead. Bye, goat man.
Well,
Wow, Zhao, I can't believe we did Zhao that dirty off camera.
Zhao was not, as long as I checked, Zhao was not actually dead.
No.
Just very
Zhao-
unwell.
Yeah, Zhao is very unwell. He did not actually take a mark of death last encounter. But he was one away from it.
Yep.
And he was getting poisoned.
Well, you wouldn't have
very
necessarily
badly.
taken a mark of death either if you just chose to go down at that point.
I think the first time it happens, isn't it?
I guarantee if you just go down, I believe you don't get automatically. I believe you don't automatically get a mark of death. You get marks of death. You try to stay up, basically, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you just go, yep, I'm out of the fight, then you're out of the fight.
If you go back to your if you opt to go back to your trailer, you can do so without getting exhaustion.
Exactly.
Okay.
To be fair, my trailer would be the trailer on the back of the American pickup truck that we have somehow in Eastern Europe where we're filming this thing. Actually,
Yeah, I'll have to double check the actual full rules on it. But there are ways you can be forced into death checks, into checks and such, and marks of death after you're knocked down. But if you just take the L, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
But that means the NPCs can do what they want with you largely. That is you basically, yep, it's out of my hands now. I'm surrendering control of what happens to my character at this point.
It's like unconsciousness leads to not really being able to do a whole lot, or something.
Almost as if.
well, it's like listen, you can't die if you're unconscious. I don't think that's actually correct.
But you can be killed while you're unconscious.
And you can be killed while you're dead, but
that too, obviously. Anywho,
wait, what?
I mean, people die when they're killed.
I was just going to say that.
I knew you were going to. Like I said, I play blue-black.
The other question is, what pose were you all striking when you said that line?
I mean, fair.
Were you clenching a fist and looking weirdly determined when you said it?
I was holding a bag of Mike and Ike's.
I reminded Peter, I have to make a quick aside about Magic the Gathering of a joke that's thrown out sometimes where people will say, remember, you can concede a match at instant speed, okay?
Yes.
You can always just choose to lose and people can't interrupt it,
Hold on, I play this blue card that makes you play out the rest of the match.
Oh, that'd be so funny. And it made it interrupt if someone conceding the match, force them to play it out.
No, that would not be a blue card. That would totally be a white card.
That would be correct, yes. That would be blue-white specifically.
It might be blue-white. I will say, the reason I say that, we're off topic here and I'm aware of that, but is there's an old card from Arabian Nights called Shahrazad.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Where you stop playing the game you're playing and everyone plays an entirely new game of Magic with the remaining cards in your deck.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the loser of that game, you go back to the original game and the loser of that game loses half their current life total.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen a situation where they had two nested versions of that happening.
I was in a multiplayer game where someone cast Fork on Shahrazad.
Oh, God.
That by the way, that game of Magic was the entire night.
Here a while.
All right. Listen, call the family. Let them know that you won't be back for a week.
Guys, I just sat down to do this while my Warhammer partner was running late. He's here now. We're going to set up. I concede.
Mecca, that scenario is basically just like the card game equivalent of someone is wrong on the internet.
Yep. Now speaking of mind games, Peter, I believe that in our current scene, we have like again this person that we
you in fact did capture. You did capture the sorceress who was with the human bandits.
Yes.
Largely due to the fact that she way awfuled on casting an ice spell and froze herself.
Right.
I'd set her up for that.
That's
You did.
That's what we call an own. That's what we call an own goal in
Pretty much.
International Superstar Soccer Deluxe for the Super Nintendo.
And Yuri
And only that.
Yuri prevented her
Only
from
that,
floating
no
down
other
river.
context.
Yep. Yeah. Umitomi basically fished her out of the river that she baited her into in the first place, and set up a fire to thaw her out quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, good, you caught one. Let's get some rope.
I mean, hey. Consent is key.
Huh? Oh.
I mean, if
You're
anything,
weird. No. She tried to kill us.
I'm
We
not
need to find out
weird.
why.
Listen, I'm
Only
going
people weird say they aren't weird.
I will just make a quick little point here about your reaction to that. Aren't you being compelled into a forced marriage that you aren't interested in staying in?
I'm not being compelled into anything. I just came down here because I like the food.
Sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Zhao's gonna die!
I was gonna say, like, this is that one scene at the end of Endwalker where Urianger is just drowning in the water when everybody's talking.
No, that was Alphino who was drowning whenever
It's
he was
Alphino,
talking.
and yeah, that was exactly the joke that we made last
Yeah.
time when we did this. Just like, this isn't about him.
Yeah, this is out here living my best life and all that stuff.
Zhao is badly poisoned, but not and it might I will definitely
he needs
say
to
to
switch out
Olan's untrained eyes, he's very clearly dying.
He's gonna die!
If he's badly poisoned, he needs to switch out.
Can I text?
Okay, here's what you do when you're poisoned like this. What you need to do is you need to get your blood rate up. I need you to run laps.
Can I claim to do odd jobs to do unauthorized medical procedures to save Zhao's life?
You can make an untrained medicine roll if you'd like.
I think that's basically what we were doing last time. You
You can absolutely make an odd job roll, but it will be followed up by an untrained medicine roll if you don't have the first aid skill.
All right.
You need to be very careful here. So it might be a spontaneous.
Peter, I got some bad but funny news for you. Okay. That's a boxcar. That 3 is a boxcar.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so
successfully amputated the limb.
at this point, I think Zhao is like, he's like on a cot, and like Dao Lu's just giving him leeches, and he's just like,
Okay. Because that is the 3 is actually a failure. Yes. So.
Yes.
You guys.
See, I wasn't concerned about Zhao until just this moment.
All right.
I mean, I only did it because of the request from Olan.
Yeah. No.
Don't you put this on me!
All right.
I wanted to be helpful. Okay.
That's fair. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. This is a yes but situation.
Uh-huh.
You have, in fact, stopped the poison from getting any worse.
Mm-hmm.
Zhao is not going to die from the poison. However,
All right,
Zhao, your health has been, the poison is going to have a lingering effect.
I see. Okay.
You're going to be suffering from 2 effects for. At the end of each session, at the end of every session, I'll have you make a Constitution check for each of them.
Okay.
On a success, you'll be able to lose one of the conditions.
All right.
The 2 conditions are -1 toughness,
Oof.
and you have a point of impairment.
That seems.
It's bad.
It's bad, but like that seems appropriate for everything that happened.
Yes, you are alive, but the poison is still sort of like has had a deleterious effect on you.
Yeah.
So basically, what's happened is we've laid him down on a cot, covered him in leeches, and given him a cold compress consisting entirely of poison oak and poison ivy.
I mean, kind of.
The patient has survived despite my best effort.
I mean, I'll put it this way: Skitch, you did get the poison out, but you let too much blood out. Basically, is the long and short of it.
Excellent.
And he's still weakened from being having been suffering from a pretty nasty poison. So, all right. So while that's going on, Umator, Yuri, you are thawing out the sorceress, who is no longer encased in ice, but she's not currently awake.
Yep. Despite the banter earlier, Yuri will, take appropriate measures, and while she won't do like a complete tie down, she will bind the wrists and the feet.
That is probably wise.
No one's going anywhere.
Yeah.
All right. So a little while, she wakes up a while later, about the same time that Zhao actually wakes up from being unconscious, basically. Zhao, you are awake. You do not feel well, but you also do not feel like you are. You don't feel like you are dying, actively dying. You just feel real. You
wish you were, but you're not.
Kind of. You feel like crap.
This was the week that my actor had the flu. I still had to act.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
So you're just going to pull out your pistol and wait.
That was malaria.
So yes, as Zhao is sort of like coming to, and Zhao was looking paler than usual, and a lot does not look well. It's almost like he lost a lot of blood, and was badly poisoned.
We turned blood. We've turned bloodletting into blood regretting. I see here.
Basically, yes. All right. The sorceress, her eyes sort of flutters.
Have a nice rest.
You can hear her teeth chattering. It's like, what? Oh, what happened? Where am I? What?
Just
I seem to have been captured.
Just had a bad day. Your own stuff went a little sideways on you, and I elected to show mercy. There is a fire right behind you. You will feel better shortly.
I'm actually thinking. I'm wondering if that's actually true. Anyways,
From an actual medical standpoint,
I believe you need to do a different approach to applying heat rather than just a fire to be appropriate. But for hypothermia, I don't know.
Hypothermia is, that involves a lot of keeping them warm is a good thing.
Yuri is not a trained medical professional.
This is true.
You just sleep with your horse when you get too cold. That's just what you do. We don't have a horse
inside the
here,
horse,
so
right?
I guess...
Yeah, exactly.
Look, Yuri is good at killing. Okay, is theoretically good at killing people. Making people not killed is a little outside of her wheelhouse.
Yuri's main skills are sneak, steal, stab. In that order.
Yep.
Not salve. I see.
No.
Throwing fireballs is on the list.
It's all sure. I confess I'm glad I'm not dead, but I'm also I'm at something of a loss as to why you chose to fish me out of the water, apparently.
Well, here's the thing. You tried to kill us. We want to know why.
I mean, that's what he's asking. That's not why I did it.
She narrows her eyes as she looks at Yuri. Why then?
To be clear, Yuri's not really making eye contact. She's just kind of like looking around, like very like affably and casually. Basically like the same way that you would just kind of like be like chilling with a friend or something. Oh, you're pretty.
Aha.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously?
You're terrible at this. I pick up the sorcerer and I walk off somewhere else.
Hey, you stop that.
You can have her when I'm done.
No. Like, Yuri will actively get in Batu's way.
I'll pick up Yuri, gently put her behind me, and then continue on.
Yuri is going to just drop some itching powder back down the back of Batu's tunic or whatever.
Okay. That definitively requires a martial arts roll.
I am not exactly very defensive, but
No, but she has to actually try. Actively try.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I made it.
you did barely. Yes.
Well, you've had itching powder dumped down your tunic.
That's good. I'm going to ignore it for now. I'll be very annoyed later.
Okay. All right. Batu stomps off.
Yuri giving chase.
Not surprised by that. So you take the sorceress somewhere else, anywhere in particular?
Yeah, out of the camp.
Okay. I mean, you don't really have a... Yeah, sure. All right. You just okay, you're going to ask me questions. I get it.
Yes.
Feel free to ask. I can't guarantee I'll be able to help you.
I just want you to be honest with me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm afraid you're not being honest with me. If I think you're not being honest with me, I'm going to have to do something I really don't want to have to do.
I see.
But I'm very good at it. So, please be honest with me.
What an opening.
Yeah.
At the point, I sort of like put the club and the axe down next to me, and I sit down in front of her.
Okay.
So, who hired you to kill us?
Well, there's a minor factual error. Technically speaking, we were not ordered to kill you, the group in particular.
No, you're after Zhao for
yes. We were instructed to kill Inspector Zhao, and anyone who got in the way were expendable. So the rest of the group were not particularly targets.
You're close enough that I'm taking it personal. Besides, I like Zhao. He's a friend.
She sort of shrugs. I just wanted to be clear.
That's fair. I understand. It's a job. And I'd hate to make it harder for you to find work in the future. So please be honest. Who hired you to attack us? You want me to roll an intimidate? I will.
Oh, you should roll an intimidate. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to decide how she's going to answer this.
Right. It's also like I wasn't hired to attack you all. You need to at least phrase your question correctly before I can answer it. This is the puzzle.
It's like,
there's a nice. Like I did fortune that, by the way.
Okay, that's fair, and that's a very, very good roll.
It's like that bit in AI. Which is like my answers are limited. You must ask the right questions.
Right. As we're doing this, I'm sitting here like snapping very thick twigs between my fingers and glancing down at her hands.
Okay. All right. So she's very clearly thinking over how she wants to answer this. It's very clear that she's weighing in her mind the relative merits of spilling the entire can of beans and what the implications that will be for her versus not spilling the bean and not spilling any beans, and what the implications, the obvious implications of that for her right now.
Yeah.
And there are some, there are definitely some there are definitely some things to weigh. There is the impression you're getting from her is that it's not an obvious answer for her at the moment. However, she goes, what I can tell you is we were not hired. So, we were not hired per se, but we were assigned to eliminate Inspector Zhao. We are not mercenaries.
Okay.
We were instructed by our superiors to eliminate Inspector Zhao.
And who are your superiors, and who do they answer to? I lean forward and take her hands in my hands and say, "It's very important you answer honestly." And it's sort of like,
good God,
my very big, meaty, very strong hands.
Big, strong hands.
I'm going to say
Big meaty claws.
I'm going to say that Yuri has decided that she can't stop Batu from doing this effectively, so she's at least tending to what caretaking she can. Like she builds another fire and like that kind of thing. And when Batu is doing this, she's like actively getting irritated. Not in a like, hey, that's cruel kind of thing, but like more or less just like, hey, I was gonna do that.
All right.
I mean, the implication is that I'm going to crush her hand.
Oh, I'm aware.
I mean, yes, but that's not how Yuri's brain works.
like, wait, whoa. Oh, hey, I did not see that coming as your strategy. That is a surprise that would be your angle there.
What I can tell you is that my superior answers to His Imperial Majesty.
So then this is a call from the Emperor.
It might be. I don't know. I said my superior answers to the Emperor. I do not know if the orders came from the Emperor.
Who's your superior?
I cannot tell you
really
that.
Don't want to have to do this.
Well, if you might as well then, because I cannot tell you. If I do tell you, it will be worse.
See, here's the thing. You can always run. But you can't run right.
I cannot run. You do not understand. I cannot run.
Why would that be?
I cannot say.
Okay, so fledgling mage over here.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say.
Since I have fertility,
Yeah.
can I try to see if there's some kind
You can
of
try. Sure. Give me a magic roll.
functional equivalent to a gesh going on?
You are more than welcome to give me a roll. A 12.
Well,
There's definitely some sort of spell cast on her, but you can't identify what it is. She's definitely been enchanted in some way, shape, or form. There's a spell of some sort cast that is not her own magic cast on her.
Right. Okay. So,
but it's
Yuri's
hard.
going
It
to
is
have
very.
her thumb
You
out.
can barely detect it at all with
Right.
that, and you
Right.
cannot get any. And
So, yeah.
whoever
So,
did
yeah.
it is a much
Yuri's
better
like
wizard than you are.
holding her staff, the sorceress's staff, as well as her own tome, and is basically like using that to kind of like triangulate mojo about her
Okay.
to determine this,
Short.
and is going to report, you are in ensorcelled in some manner.
I cannot say.
I suspect that's why you cannot say anything.
I cannot answer that question.
Oh, that's not a question. That's a fact.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
She's looking more at Batu.
I am
when
aware,
she says
but
this.
she's making.
And Batu has got like the pinky in her left hand, about ready to bend it back. He's like looking at her like, really?
I don't think that she is genuinely capable of actually saying anything. I think it's a curse or some other form of keeping quiet enchantment.
Can you undo it?
I can barely do anything right now. It's a wonder I can tell it's there. That's partially why I did pull her out, though, beyond just the fact that she's pretty. I was hoping I could receive instruction. I didn't exactly have the best teacher, she says, looking knowingly at Batu.
So you can't tell us outright who's...
I cannot tell you outright who my superior is. Or any information on the organization I work for.
So, would it be... If you were to say, glance left when I mentioned the governor, would that imply anything?
I do not work for the governor. At least not as far as I'm aware.
Oh, man, that's so ambiguous. It could mean anything.
I mean, I suppose it's technically possible the man I work for could be be a imperial governor in disguise, but I do not believe.
But not the one over that way.
I doubt it. It would have to be a particularly good disguise.
It would have to be a court sorcerer that might know. And I rattle off the name of the guy we saw got eaten by demons earlier.
That idiot? No.
Actually, Yuri's not hiding the tome.
What was the guy's name?
Does she
I gotta look
recognize
up the guy's
it?
name. Zhao Shi, that's it.
Zhao Shi, yeah.
Zhao
she
Shi,
recognize
that
the tome?
idiot. He couldn't run any sort of organization. He couldn't without like, accidentally summoning a demon that would eat half his lackeys.
I mean,
only half. Okay.
Only half.
it did.
And
eat
the
all of
lackeys.
his- It did all of his lackeys and him.
Ah!
Put up a good fight, though.
He got eaten by one of his
But you know
demons.
does this seem-
That is hilarious.
Incidentally, she holds the tome in front.
Okay,
Does this seem familiar to you?
not particularly.
Oh, interesting.
But you know of him.
Sure, I know of him.
Does your boss know of him?
Probably.
They all work at the same company, so they might have met at the water cooler at one
Yeah.
point. You know?
Met by the water cooler at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Like
part of the same conspiracy,
The aqueduct.
organization,
it-
secret
it-
cult, secret society, whatever you want to call it.
it's called.
I have no idea.
incorporated.
Sorry, actually no. If they are, I'm not aware of it.
It's an LLC. It's a limited liability conspiracy. Okay.
All right, so being involved with espionage and whatnot, I'm guessing that this sounds like pretty standard, need to know basis kind of deal.
I mean,
Yeah,
Like this tracks
oh.
to Yuri as, an
informational
espionage agent.
yeah. Informational, whatchamacallit?
compartmentalization.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I
So,
knew immediately where
yeah.
you were going with that, Eric.
Yeah. Yuri will rattle off this sounds like it makes sense to her as someone who's been in this business.
Okay. Well, so far I'm pretty glad I haven't had to break your fingers.
So am I. I'd rather you didn't.
Really don't. I'd really prefer not to do that.
We are of a similar mind then. Believe me, if I could tell you more, if I was able to tell you more right now, I would.
I very much get that impression. So my next question is, if we let you go, you're going to try to kill us again?
Only if I receive a new set of orders to do so.
Seems like it might be wise. Take a little bit of me time. You know, wander the countryside, try the various noodle shops, take in the sights. Might be a good idea for you.
For what it's worth, I wouldn't mind seeing you again.
Aha.
I'm just thinking. I don't think they could take PTO, Batu. I don't think. They, I don't think.
Believe me,
they
I will
leave.
suggest that I'm not the person to send against this particular group again to my superiors, but
I'm going to guess, and I'm not going to press this, that you are unable to answer the question of why.
I mean, why he's targeted? I don't know why he was being targeted. Why Zhao was being targeted? I was not told. That does not fall in the category of need to know.
Yeah, I figured. Just wanted to cover the base on that one.
I assume that Inspector Zhao at some point interfered with Imperial business of some sort in some way.
So here's a good question. Your superior, were they the ones that put the magic on you? Or did they have one of their other lackeys put it on you?
That is not a question I can answer.
Are you sure? Because it seems like the kind of thing that, like, you need to be pretty clever to think someone would ask you. And I'm going to be honest, most of these guys don't seem that clever.
I cannot answer that question.
It tracks well enough to me.
It's not her fault that most of the people that have been sent to us have been notably less competent.
Right.
Past incompetence is not a sign of future incompetence.
It's not.
Not when they're different people.
Yes.
Also,
Who would...
Sorry, go ahead.
If you were to suggest what kind of forces send against us next, what would you recommend to your boss?
More.
Well,
That's
that was a
about right.
compliment.
More.
We did it.
More. Bigger. More dangerous.
Well, let's hope they do that, because that'd be a lot more fun.
I do appreciate that this is the one thing that you're and Batu are agreeing on. It's like, oh, yes, that's a compliment.
Either that or, to be totally honest, actual dedicated assassins.
It seems like they sent you guys out just to,
Well, we were being instructed I thought this was overkill. We were being sent to kill an Imperial inspector. And maybe some bodyguards.
Yeah. They didn't really tell you who you were fighting, did they?
I was not expecting someone we were not expected to go up against someone who could single-handedly defeat a large demonic snake. Usually that just eats people. I thought that was overkill.
I mean, I'm glad you brought the snake. That was actually a lot of fun. He gave me a hug. He was so cute. It's a shame I had to back in.
Meanwhile, elsewhere, it's like, it wasn't single-handed.
It wasn't, but she didn't see the end of the fight, to be fair. She was kind of frozen at the time.
That's fair enough, but it's just as an aside.
You are correct, Skitch, but she was frozen at the time.
Daolu, in the middle of doing more questionable operational procedures on Zhao, just like crossed his arms and says it wasn't single-handed.
No, I just need you to sign here. This authorizes me to buy you a whole bunch of Bitcoin.
Mr. Daolu, are you sure that the frying pan should go inside of his stomach?
Well, that's where the food's going to end up going eventually. So this.
I mean, I get your point. I've never seen anyone do this before. I guess you must be the medical expert, though. I'll let's just keep doing it, I guess.
I'm just thinking back to the old DOS game, Life and Death, where you can just leave all of your medical instruments inside the person and then sew them up.
So Zhao's lost a lot of blood, so he has an iron deficiency. So Zhao's putting the iron blood in. I'm not
now you have
Zhao.
Iron Goat style.
No. It's a magic spell. I'm just casting iron into him. You know.
Ah. At 500 degrees?
Only if it's meant to be seasoned.
Okay. I'm glad you got where I was going with that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, what do you think, Yuri? Anything you can think of that I haven't asked yet?
As I roll espionage tactics for things that Yuri should know that I am blanking on. 12.
Let me think. Other questions that you might want to ask that she might be able to answer. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you the questions that she could probably answer. Well, maybe not actually. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, just throw it out and maybe.
I'm double sort of thinking whether she can answer, whether she can actually answer the question or not. One that she might be able to answer might be who the hell summoned the snake men and the giant snake demon. Because those aren't like, normal. Those aren't like,
Yeah, those are not Imperial regulars. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Yuri will basically ask that question.
All right.
So we know what you and
she does not seem like a summoning specialist. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. So Yuri's going to just be like, so we know that you and your immediate entourage are Imperial agents. I'm going to guess that the company that you were keeping and their pet snake are not in your usual accompaniment. Are you able to tell us where they came from?
I'm assuming you do not mean which particular hell they're from.
Nah,
what I had in mind was thinking a little more local.
Yeah, who called them up?
Who called them up? I believe it was a summoning specialist by the name of Shao Kang.
Oh, there's a name.
He does not,
I suppose,
technically work for the same organization, but he owes favors.
Gotcha. Yuri's going to actually scribble that in the margins of the tome at some point. At the very least, it's another magic user, something to potentially learn.
Sure.
Where were you operating out of? Where did you get these orders? What town?
My men and I received a letter we were in. Okay, I have not actually named the nearby city, so the city in the city you guys are headed towards. Actually, I received the written instructions from my superior in that city, and I was instructed to find Shao Kang to have him summon reinforcements for us. He lives in a shack not too far outside of the city.
Can you tell us how to find that shack?
I mean, follow this road. When you first see the city, look for a sort of spooky looking forest off to the east. Go there. His shack's in the woods.
Well,
and how did you get this letter? Was it delivered by a bonded courier, some like urchin runner?
Birds? The latter. A street urchin dropped it off at the hotel I was staying at the inn I was staying at.
Gotcha.
Typical clandestine delivery.
Yes.
Okay. You've been very honest about about as honest as you can be. So,
well,
that's
I would
good.
rather not
I
have
feel
my
like
hand. I
better
would rather
hand.
not have my hands broken. Also,
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to do that too.
Also, I'm not part of the reason I can't answer any questions is I'm not. I would not say I'm particularly inherently loyal to the organization.
They got some magic wazoo-woos on you, huh?
I cannot answer that question.
Yep. I already told you that, Batu.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Anyway, so
It doesn't hurt to ask again. It can have changed.
Maybe I could trick this. Maybe I could trick the spell into not working for.
I mean,
honestly, if I were playing someone that was like more familiar with fairies, I probably would have cracked this open by now. But Batu has no idea what he's doing.
I mean, yes, there's possibly there are questions you could ways to ask the question that would get around it. Yes.
Yeah, but Batu doesn't have any. Batu's not that adroit at
Most
interrogation.
Virtually no one in China has interacted with the Fae.
Yeah.
That would be quite the contact set.
Yes.
Anyhow,
they merely have to deal with
Yuri
demons.
is going to. She's just going to casually like stroll behind. Joodle. Oh, right. I did have one more question.
Okay.
I've been quite poor on my manners. I am, and she's going to give a partially false name. She is going to identify as Yuri, but she's going to give a false surname.
Okay.
Family name.
Sure.
Would you be so kind as to share your own?
I might as well. I am Teng Lei.
Despite circumstances, it has been a pleasure to meet you. And Yuri is going to sever the bonds at the hands and the feet.
The sorceress, Teng Lei, the sorceress, looks like, okay. She sort of starts rubbing her wrists where they were tied and sort of wiggling her fingers. And it's like, okay. At least I don't seem to be frostbitten.
Yeah, the village back there has good noodles. I'd go down there, hang out for a bit. Here they've got a minstrel that comes around every once in a while. It'd be worth hanging out there for a while.
If it's all the same to you, I would like to meet again. Not just because my initially stated reasons, but I feel like we might be able to work together. And you are certainly more proficient in the magical arts. I'm merely beginning that journey.
You are looking for you're looking for something of a mentor beyond what you can learn from that. I take it you're self-taught from that book, then?
Indeed.
I can't promise anything at the moment, but
I understand.
If we cross paths again and I'm not under any orders to...
I getcha.
Under any particular orders, we could discuss maybe learning a few lessons, yes.
I would appreciate that.
A word of warning. Since you have... I think I can... Well, let's see if I can give you this word of warning. How will I phrase this so that... the road ahead to the woods is watched. I would advise caution.
That is excellent information, and I do appreciate it. Yuri will return the staff.
Thank you. Fortunately, I did not suffer from frostbite.
I thawed you as quickly as possible.
Yes, and I appreciate
Honestly, then we'd have to let Dao Lu take a look at you, and he is the worst doctor.
I am not the worst doctor.
Because you're not a doctor at all.
No. Listen, the problem is not that I'm a bad doctor. The problem is that I don't have my tools. All right?
That stands... Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Anyways, this Teng Lei stands up. Well, I appreciate not being summarily executed, so I will thank you for that.
Yeah, we're not barbarians. Neither of us came from this far south of the wall.
I gathered. You are from further north, and I believe you, pointing at Yuri, are from somewhere to the east.
Oh my, I've been found out.
Yeah, like I said, we're not barbarians. So
depends on how you
have fun.
Depends on how you define barbarian. But yes.
We've had the discussion before.
Oh,
by the Roman definition, you both clearly are.
Conversation.
By the Roman or Greek definition.
Yes.
You can't be Greek. Our language doesn't sound like bar.
Exactly. With that, she bows slightly and starts heading off back down the path towards the village you guys came from.
Alrighty. Well, that went about as well as could be, I think.
Yeah, I was really expecting to have to break some fingers. Then I would have had to go and be sick afterwards, and because that always makes me feel queasy. And why did you put this down my shirt? It itches so much. He immediately starts like nearly knocking over a tree, scratching his back on the bark.
I'm thinking of that one.
Why did you do this?
Because I didn't want you to.
We couldn't do it in front of everyone. If I had to break stuff, poor I can't remember Nick's character's name.
Olan.
Poor Ulan would have been so upset and cried and everything. That would have been really sad.
I don't know if you've ever seen me cry.
I don't think he has.
Batu just has his mental image of Olan just always crying about everything.
She's got her. She's like going to school and in first grade or something in his head or something like that.
Ulan was a little cinnamon bun, and he didn't want to ruin her.
You didn't want to torture somebody in front of the nice lady.
I think you and I have very different approaches to this. Is the best way that I can phrase this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and having a good guy and a bad guy, then we can play off they're
I'm not a cop.
Who said anything about cops? What's a cop?
He did say good guy, bad guy, explicitly.
Yes, but Yuri is incredibly criminal, so she's going to make that association.
Good samurai, bad samurai.
Good thief, bad thief. Okay.
This is apparently the Westwood dub of this movie.
Well, I mean, good thief, bad thief is really bad thief, worse thief, but you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
And cop isn't?
I mean, fair. Fair point.
Just seeing the word cop pop up in the dub at the bottom of the movie, that's how you know to speak important cinema.
No, the important thing is the fan sub that will have cop asterisk and then the full screen is just translator notes about why they chose the word cops.
The word they actually use is Imperial official, but you know.
Right.
You know, all.
Anyway, I think our scene is done.
Yes.
It's the all according to Keikaku. Keikaku means plan.
Yes, absolutely. All right. You're all back together. The sorceress has left.
I think at this point, Zhao is probably
conscious. Zhao is conscious and mobile, but not feeling well. He definitely has a bit of a greenish tinge about his face.
Yeah. He's in that dramatic the shonen state of undress after being injured.
But yeah, he looks a bit more gaunt than usual. He's got a bit of a greenish tinge to his face, dark circles under his eyes.
He's got bandages over his eyebrow.
Sure.
So, what does she have to say?
Well,
not much regarding the operation itself because there's an enchantment on her that keeps her from actually saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really any getting past that.
Mm-hmm. Standard procedure. Yeah.
Yeah.
They hired out someone to summon their snake guys, and we know where he is, so we're going to ask him questions.
Yep.
And I guess there's an ambush in the road. She said watched, but I'm pretty sure there was a way to get around that.
Yeah. So sounds like a detour is in order.
Let's go visit this other wizard, this head wizard, shrub wizard, the shrub mage,
The
rhododendron sorcerer,
the ornamental grass spellcaster.
No. Rhododendron ritualist.
Ooh,
there we go.
That's good. That's good.
Rhododendron ritualist. There we go.
I don't know what that means, so I'm going to act like it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
There.
They're playing off Hedge Wizard.
I understand. I'm not changing my response.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, I wasn't sure if that. My apologies. All right.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine.
All right. So you guys are going to try to avoid the area she seemed to be indicating was quote watched end quote.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And I'll even go the extra step on that one. And Yuri is going to operate as a forward scout.
Okay, you're going to forward scout
intrusion. It's like I'm good at that or something.
All right. Okay, so you head out. All right, Yuri, give me an intrusion roll to start things off with.
15.
15. That's a very good roll.
That's a very basic roll.
Yes, it's almost like your intrusion is very good.
Can't be. That's not.
Crap, I can't remember the command for this. Hang on.
Yeah, the value of intrusion was very strongly imparted upon me when we did the Star Wars game, and Skitch was playing
yes
IO9D and was a thief, and like, geez Louise, this skill does so much work.
Well, most skills do.
Yeah, most skills do a lot of work.
They do, but intrusion does the kind of work that I want to do.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I guess.
That's like, okay, yeah, no. I'm in for playing a thief. I'm bad at fighting, but I'm always playing characters that are bad at fighting. In this.
I was not bad at fighting, though. I wonder what the problem is there, you know.
I think you upped your guns, or your that was Feng 1. I think your guns
don't want to
were
elaborate
better.
I don't want to make the aside and then move
well,
on.
I will say, yeah, Feng Shui 1 it's actually easier to level up your actual like skills.
Mm-hmm.
Because the system was different.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyhow.
All right. Sorry, I just need to do a. I need to make a macro for this. What is there? Okay. Nope. All right. Sure. All right. All right. So you travel through the woods for a while. Yuri, I would like you to give me a notice roll.
Would detective qualify?
Absolutely. 14. Very nice. All right. Yuri, you are seeing faint traces of somebody having been moving through the treetops in this area earlier and very stealthily. You barely can notice anything.
You know, offhand, I think it was my doing, but I haven't been here yet.
I will put it this way: they're wearing slightly different climbing gear than you would wear for this.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
there's Chinese instead of Japanese.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We're being attacked by lumberjacks.
It's like, oh, yeah, it's a Canadian ambush. We'd never see it coming.
No, you really wouldn't.
Honestly, a Canadian ambush, I'd be terrified.
Yeah,
All the
they're
war
actually
crimes.
effective. They're gonna burn down Zhao's house at this point here.
It's like, okay, so you are beset upon by the oh geez, how did I forget the letters? The RCMP.
I surrender.
You're walking down the street and you suddenly see these boys strolling down. Oh, they'll handle the fine. They look Canadian. Get the fuck out of here.
It's just this scene in like Monty Python and the Holy Grail where Lancelot's getting arrested, but it's Mounties.
Yes.
I thought you were gonna say it's the scene from Monty Python Holy Grail, and instead of being the rabbit, it's just Canadians.
All right.
It's a beaver.
All right. So, you do notice it does seem like there's somebody ahead of you in the treetops.
Right. There's someone who knows what they're doing.
Oh, they definitely know what they're doing.
All right. Yuri is, all right, not taking things casually anymore. Like, this is something she marks as, like, capital S serious.
Oh, yeah.
Not that she knows what an S is, but.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think we know what an S is. This is well before. This is what, like 60 AD?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
It's capital soup serious.
It's definitely it's first century, so.
Mm-hmm.
In theory.
So, all right. Yuri is going to basically just like toss a rock with a short message on it back towards the rest that says, basically it's the summary of competent scout seeking. Wait. And she's going to basically try to find, the her counterpart here.
Okay. Give me another intrusion roll and another detective roll.
I'm going to throw a fortune on both of these.
That's fair.
Okay, so 21 intrusion.
Okay.
That's good.
And 14 detective again.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
All right. So here's what happens. You start moving through the trees and you start coming up to an area which is sort of a bit of a clearing up ahead. Sort of where the road's sort of passing through a bit more open area. But you do notice that there are a bunch of sort of rock formations that are sticking up off the ground. Little sort of rock formations. There are trees everywhere with like trees on top of there. What you do notice is you stop very suddenly and very quietly, and are very thankful you rolled very well in your intrusion roll, because you do spot the person you were trailing, and when you're like, okay, I think I see the scout, the person I'm following, who is is in a beautiful position to observe the road from a tree. However, you also barely make out the concealed three groups of what look like two groups of what look like the bandits you've fought before, like recently, but they are clearly like Imperial soldiers disguised as bandits.
Right.
A third group up on one of the bluffs, overlooking the area with that you think you make out some like bows and stuff they're armed with, led by a very competent, very sneaky looking guy doing a very good job at hiding, and you can barely make out somebody in another tree across the road from you. Had you moved like another foot forward, you would have been spotted by her.
Wait a second. A very competent archer?
Yes, a very competent looking archer, I should say.
Is it the same very competent looking archer that we saw
No.
before? Okay.
That guy did not look this sneaky.
Okay.
that was a much more trustworthy looking archer.
I'll put it this way: you can't when I say competent looking, he's just in comparison to the rest of the crew. You're getting the competence from how well he's hidden, because you can barely notice him.
Right. Yeah,
you are 100% certain
here, and all of them are doing very well, even the ones that are not actually sneaks.
Right.
Which tells her they're being led very well.
Yeah. And as I said, there's someone in a position who, if you were a little bit further forward, you would have been seen.
Right.
But you rolled one of your intrusion roll to have stopped it in the nick of time.
Yeah. So Yuri is going to take in the mental landscape of this area, and I, the player, Renan, am going to conclude that, I don't know if like the bluffs are like to the left or the right, but basically.
Okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to.
Like, is this an actual like valley situation?
I'm going to
or
show
could
you
we
the
just
map.
Go away from the cliffs. Okay.
You guys get to see the map. You ignore your tokens.
Right. Okay.
That is not where you actually are, but like this is a potential ambush you guys could have walked into.
Right. But okay, TLDR, there's nothing forcing us to walk through this pass.
This is the best. This is the best. This is easily the best route through the woods to where you guys are going.
So we're going to go to the less than best route.
Absolutely, you guys. If you want to avoid this fight, you can avoid this fight.
Absolutely.
Either that, or we can ambush our ambushers.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to try to do that,
it's up to you guys.
If we catch them, they have to surrender. That's how it works, right? They have to...
All right. So Yuri is going to make her way back, and as soon as she's confident that she cannot be noticed in any respect, she will hasten that.
Okay. Yeah. You once you're
will explain the ambush.
All right. So you get back and you can fill in the party.
So we're not going this way.
What? Why?
There are many dangerous looking folks in extremely good ambushing positions. I was almost seen. It's pretty much just fortune that I wasn't.
Yeah, it's kind of on its side. It's like, I'm in no position to argue.
There's another path that we can take over this way that is not guarded by this, at the very least.
Could we sneak behind them and then club them?
They're on cliff tops that are isolated. If you can sneak up climbing a cliff that's being watched on all angles, by all means, I'm not going to bother.
And if you,
I look Yuri up and down. I look the other party up and down. Maybe throw Yuri up there.
More to the point, if you could sneak out and clunk one of them from behind, the people on the other side will see you, since you're doing it from in front of them.
Yeah, Yuri can actually quickly sketch out sort of a rough map if you like.
Yes.
So you guys do have...
All right, I guess we're not going to go clubbing then. Fine.
We have someone who...
And they have someone in the trees who is not someone that I care to contend with.
We also have somebody in our... We also have, Zhao here, who is not only someone who has now been a target of an assassination, it seems, but is also unwell. And so putting ourselves in any sort of undue risk is putting him at undue risk.
Yeah, did you give him the fermented horse milk? Because that usually makes me feel better.
He starts gagging at this, like he's remembering the smell and the taste of the horse milk.
Well.
All right. So, you will head through the less easily traversed path. Very well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you head out. Let me take a look at something here. 1 second.
Yeah, Yuri will basically double as scout and trailblaze in this context.
Nope. You guys are...
It's like she's good at that or something.
Yeah. Right.
She has double earned her biscuits today.
By the way, that fortune die did, in fact, what saved you from stumbling into the...
Oh, you don't say. It put me over 20.
Yeah.
you should have said it was mere good fortune die that prevented me from being caught out.
I mean, that's
what I was annoyed with.
I made the joke without spelling it out too much.
You should have spelled it out. That's the point. If you don't spell it out, you're a coward, period.
Shut up.
I know authors use subtext.
I'm not apologizing for that.
I
know you're not.
Who rely on their audience to get subtext, and they're all cowards.
Exactly.
Oh, Nick, you're your mic changed.
Oh, that's what the noise was before. Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
No
Don't
problem.
worry. Olad's dubbing booth got changed out in mid-production here.
Had to do some ADR there.
Everything is filmed MOS though, so it doesn't matter.
Let me think. All right, so I'll wait for Nick to pop back in here, but you guys are traveling through. Again, you're no longer walking on like a nice actual like road. There's like a path kinda where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, Nick.
All right, I had to really struggle with that. Okay.
So you are no longer on a nice, well-maintained road. You're on a very not well-maintained path. On the plus side, you are very likely to be ambushed by actual Imperial assassins.
Trade-offs, you know.
Yeah. I mean, totally not Imperial assassins. Nope, not at all.
Not at all.
Mhm.
It's like, where do you want to go jogging today in the woods? Well, we got the regular path, but we do risk Imperial assassination, so we might take the alternate path this day for a jog, you know?
All right, so
In the botanical
you are
gardens.
heading, basically you're heading pretty much due north now. And the path is not great, but, so everyone, I would like everyone to give me a roll of a skill you think will help you traversing an unpleasant path.
Ooh.
So on the one hand, Zhao's goat style would normally help him here, but I don't think it would kick in right now because he is very, very sick. So let's.
I imagine at the very least that just means that you're not being slowed down by this.
Can I default to intimidation? Can I intimidate the road?
No,
No.
All right. Well,
Is the road in Mongolia?
it is not in Mongolia. No,
Can I
My
drive a
trained-
truck down the road?
no.
My trained skills are gambling, intimidation, smithing and metallurgy, martial culture, and merchant trading.
Right.
So I don't think that I've got a lot
But
to work
you
with
don't have
either.
to. It does not have to be like regular skill. You could like if you come up with a way to use your like any of your combat abilities, you could use those too,
Yeah.
or a stat check of some
Best
sort.
best thing I can think of is would be that familiarity with positioning and stances,
Sure.
and use that
Just
to
yeah,
do a martial
come up
arts
with
check.
martial arts check is perfectly valid.
Yeah, I'll just do martial arts, and this is
Yeah, I mean martial arts involves like like doing flippy stuff and climbing trees and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's
Yeah.
an 11.
yep, an
Good
11.
too, because I didn't roll very well.
Yep. Like
Honestly, like I could just power my way through, like between healthy as a horse and strong as an ox, just sort of
Yeah.
knocking shit out of my way
Absolutely.
makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
We
there's
put
an-
Zhao behind Batu.
Yep. There's
so-
another intrusion to find
enough.
the path of least resistance.
Cool.
for
I'll
everyone
do
else.
toughness just to knock shit out of my way.
there, go for it. Good.
Yeah, I
And-
suppose. Yeah, I was gonna say either regional info or martial arts is gonna be what I'm gonna use.
I could see an argument for either.
They're both. It's basically the same roll either way.
So go for it.
We'll do regional info just
Sure.
to be silly, and let's not burn fortune on there. That's a 14.
Okay.
All right.
You all beat a 10, so congratulations. All right. So the path. So, between Batu widening the path through just sheer brute Batu-ness, Dalu sort of, knowing the area well, Zhao's, ghost style actually, despite feeling ill, his, inherent training is big helpful there. Olan cutting stuff out of basically, effectively macheting her way through some bits, and Yuri, looking for less difficult paths to get through. You make extremely good progress.
Nice.
And you travel on for a good basically most of the rest of the long enough to it's getting on time where you probably want to take a break and eat something. And you do come across a fairly nice clearing. There's like a bit of a stream running through a bit of it. There's a nice little bit of sunshine. There's some shade here. The weather seems particularly nice.
There's a ring of mushrooms around it.
There's not a ring of mushrooms around it.
Also, wrong region for that kind of
You are correct. Yes.
Yeah, I don't feel like being danced to death this evening.
That's fair. Absolutely fair.
I will
That was the
absolutely
best
accidentally
death in
insult
Quest of
some
Glory.
she noble. So, yeah, this seems like a fine place to make camp. Not understanding like fairy traps at all.
Sure. Yes, if this is a Western fantasy story, this would be ringing alarm bells.
Yeah.
Fortunately, like the worst you're going to run into here is like a Pengho or maybe a Kirin, maybe, but
Oh yeah, just the random Kieran just
the
crossing.
Kirin
road.
seems a lot less likely.
You don't say.
A little bit less likely.
If we run into the Kieran, that's becoming a focal point very quickly.
You are correct, and you're not going to run into a Kirin, nor are you even going to run into a Pengho. Like or Pensho, I guess. I don't remember. I think it's Pengho. They're tree spirits, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we just like randomly run into a dragon horse god, then yeah, that's where your day takes a new priority very quickly.
I mean, if there's a journey to the west, we almost certainly would. But
It's not Journey to the West.
Well, we're journeying to the north, so we're okay.
not one person here is a monkey in any way, shape, or form. So
Yes.
We're doing Journey to the rest of the region, actually. So.
Yeah. Batu might be a big ape, but he's not a monkey.
Fair.
Also, Journey to the Rest could just be, I'm just trying to get a really nice nap. Okay, you can also argue that.
No, that is what we're doing right now.
So say Journey to the West sounds like a travel series about hotels in China.
All
All right. So while you are sitting there,
Yuri wants to set up some triggers in the nearby area because there's kind of a kill squad in the local region.
you
and
know
while we
that's
may
fair.
have
You want to set up like
hijacked
some like alarm traps or something.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I'm
gonna justify that as intrusion by virtue of the fact
No,
that that's what you'd use to catch an intruder.
No, that absolutely. That I was going to suggest intrusion, so go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, 19.
Okay, you got some alarm traps set up.
All right, if they throw a fortune on their 15 and bypass it, fair enough.
Yep. All right. So as you sit there, you take a nice little break. You eat some food. Yuri comes back after setting the alarm traps. You have a nice, pleasant rest, actually. And as you're getting ready to leave, you all notice that there is a sort of hunched over old, sort of looks like a sort of very elderly woman with a basket on her back, bent over near the stream, picking what looked like picking herbs from the side of the stream. You all swear she was not there about 10 seconds ago.
Do I get any mojo from this direction?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
No, but I'm going to walk over and say, hey, do you need some help with that? It looks heavy.
Olan is right there, too.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, dearie. No, I'm quite fine. Just picking my herbs.
All right. Well, we're just sitting down for camp if you want to share dinner.
Oh, dear. Thank you for the offer, but I just here to pick some medicinal herbs for my tea.
Oh, all right. Well, we're just over here if you need something.
I appreciate the offer.
All right. I'll leave her be then.
Now it's just like, you can see her too? I thought she was a hallucination.
Yuri from a tree is suspicious.
We're gonna do a info merchant trading to see if I know of any places that a little old lady would have made her way here. From
Sure.
Just
I'm gonna-
out of curiosity.
I'm gonna throw the
I-
same
I rolled a
smuggling
9.
route.
Nothing comes to mind.
I pulled boxcars of my info.
Oh dear. Okay, that's actually that's technically a way awful then.
Let's go.
It's clearly Odin.
We already did.
I don't. It's a good thing I rolled on something that's like info.
Yeah, no. All right, so that means you just have bad info.
Right.
Incidentally, that was an espionage tactics roll by the
Yeah,
way.
you don't get you got nothing.
All right.
So-
I can't think of anything particularly. So it's it's merchant trading and such. So I'm trying to think of what like
I asked such a mild question if it does.
like honestly, there's nothing. I can't come up with anything really like particularly like wacky or weird for a way awful on that. Like
Yeah.
I'll put it. Okay, so here, Nick, while you can't put your finger on it, you are convinced you know her from somewhere.
Okay.
Like you're like
What?
I've seen this woman before somewhere, but you cannot put your finger on it. It is infuriating.
Okay, so I think I figured out how I want to phrase this.
Okay.
All right, so she's there.
Yep.
Logically, she had to have come from somewhere.
Logically, that would be the case. Yes.
Logically, yes.
So, if she did not just teleport in or is doing some, ninja nonsense like, Yuri is, wont to do, there should be footprints or a path or something.
Sure.
Or like,
Would you like to go
call it
looking for
foot
them?
trail. Yeah.
Give me a
I'd like to
detective roll.
detective that. Yeah.
Alternatively, she could have swam her
Okay,
way
21.
here. She could have swam her way here and then just dried herself off immediately.
Right.
Therefore, no footfalls.
Okay, like I'm of two minds about this because on the one hand I made the joke that I'm not a cop, but at the same time I am running security tonight. Boy howdy.
Well, it's because Xiao can't.
Right. All right. So Yuri, you go to all the places where where someone could have walked into this clearing near the spring where the little spring where she is picking herbs. Anywhere near there, you find no trace of anyone passing through that area. Like not even like like animals. Which thinking on that, you're like, wait, that's weird. This is like an obviously good watering hole.
The animals know something's up. They know that there's crocodiles in that pool or whatever.
Or we might like be in an illusion too. For something.
Yeah, Yuri is going to just kind of come to this conclusion and go, "We're leaving."
Olana's looking at the woman's like, were you at my mother's birthday celebration?
Grab back of collar, "We're leaving."
But I've seen her.
No, you haven't.
What? But she's right here.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just picking herbs.
Why are we? Wait a
I'm
minute.
sure
We're not
you are.
making camp here. This place is great.
I can't
should make
quite put my finger on it, but there is something immensely wrong here.
Well, then we should get
a
her away from here
fabrication.
too.
I would not recommend staying here the night, dearies. You wouldn't. It's not a pleasant place in the evenings.
Oh. Oh,
Well,
all
where-
right. The local says.
Well, where are you
so.
going?
Home.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's an easy answer there. Just like
I know my ways around these woods well. You don't have to worry about me.
Okay.
I would not recommend being out in the woods particularly late at night, though.
Why? They're like demons.
Oh no, nothing. Oh no. Don't be ridiculous.
Oh,
Nothing that's
demons are a lot of fun.
nothing that simple.
Oh. And I probably can't hit it until it's dead, huh?
Oh no, nothing that simple. We're going to have to confront the idea of self.
exactly.
Listen, I'm not down for all this character development stuff. I just want to break stuff. So let's move along from the pathos.
You signed up for the wrong camp. You signed up for the wrong campaign, Bucko. The old
It's-
lady, the old
It's one of
crowd
those
says.
like, flying head vampires, but it's just the head of Sigmund Freud.
I,
My cigar doesn't mean anything, but everything about you does.
I was
Young
like,
shows up and starts berating. Young's head shows up, starts berating Freud's head about penis envy.
All right. So you set out again, feeling very unsettled. And as you travel through the woods,
shoes from her once or something.
What?
Oh, give it a rest.
I feel like I bought my last pair of shoes from her or something.
You haven't even been in this region before.
Well, maybe she was in where I came from. She seems like she could get around easily by herself.
Yours is going to kind of stare, and is going to continue to just pull.
She's got the wisdom of age, and she is spry.
Pull, 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 pull.
Oh,
All right, so let's keep wandering through the woods, gang.
yes, he'll be perfectly fine.
Great plan. Let's go.
Oh, it's great. I want everyone to give me a notice roll. You may use detective if you have that instead.
All right.
I might as well
14.
use the fortune on this because
That's an 11.
I am down to 1 fortune. I've been using my fortune to just like facilitate everything.
All right.
Both got 6s. Hooray!
Evidently,
I rolled a fortune die and I got a 6.
evidently this is a Yuri episode.
All right. So as you travel through the woods, Zhao and Yuri. Okay, everyone. Since you all rolled above a 5, you all have a really creepy feeling that something is watching you from just outside your peripheral vision. And whenever you turn to look in that direction, whatever was there is gone.
So,
Oh no, that's again.
I will let. Sorry, I'll let you finish because you were mentioning Zhao and Yuri separately.
Zhao, Yuri, you also hear something moving through the brush off the path that you're on, and you can hear it sort of scuttling along very very stealthy and quietly, but you can barely make it out. But again, when you turn and look, sort of try to focus on where it is, it goes silent and there's nothing there you can see.
Without looking, knife toss.
Your knife thuds into a tree.
Well, you got one less knife now, Yuri. Having done this before, with weird stuff that was creeping around us earlier in the campaign, Olan is going to try and use the reflection of her blade to look behind her.
Absolutely. You can give me... Actually, you know what you can do? You can give me a martial arts roll for this.
Nice! Now, let's see if I can roll not a negative exploded die. I rolled a 25 for this.
I am very impressed, Nick. All right. So you do that, and you catch something... You actually do catch the shadow of something. Right at the edge, like you're sort of trying to get into your peripheral area, and you catch something just as you get into the area, you catch sight of something black and vaguely chitinous, roughly the size of, say, I don't know, a human. But
chitinous,
yes,
like insect chitinous.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh,
We're going to be fighting
right.
some xenomorphs. It's going to be awesome.
So you see it there very, you actually can see a somewhat vaguely humanoid form right there in the edge of your peripheral vision as you're doing it around, and then a glint off your sort of you see your sort of glint a little bit, and it's gone.
Yep,
I rolled a 25 on that.
Yes, you did. You didn't need a 25, but for that, but you got it. So you do get something. That's why you actually got the fact that it's humanoid.
Okay.
Okay, so if it's this kind of sorceress nonsense, Imitomi's going to consult the tome. Try to devise a more elegant solution than last time.
Lon is going to just announce that. I was like, we don't want any trouble. We're just trying to get through to somewhere safe to camp for the night. So stop that, please. You can follow us, if you don't trust us or anything, but we're not going to do anything to you.
Pinky swear.
Okay. Have fun creeping around behind us, I guess. What everyone does.
All right. As you travel further along, you can hear sort of a gurgling, what sounds like a bit of a river ahead of you. And as you start getting closer, you hear the very distinctive sound of a tree sort of breaking and falling over from somewhere ahead of you. I'm not making a roll for that because it's a very obvious sound.
It is Canadians.
Jeez.
All right.
You're here to steal our maple syrup.
Yes, because maple trees are very common in China.
Oh yeah. It's what started the Opium Wars.
I see. That makes sense. Anyways, you get to the riverbank. It is a deep, very fast-flowing river that seems to have a very freshly knocked down tree lying across it.
So, okay. So, this sounds more ridiculous the more I think about it, so I'm just going to say it. I'd like to tap into the mojo of fertility in the area to get a vibe check of, is there hostility or is this actually hospitality?
Interesting. Give me a roll.
8.
Okay, so you're not getting a lot of anything. You're definitely not getting a sense of, at a best guess, it's more a, look, just get out of our territory thing.
Good enough. All right, we're going.
It is not hospitality. Very much not hospitality.
Okay, maybe not the right word, but it's not hostility. We're being enabled to
There is
leave.
there is some hostility there, but it's not a, we want to kill you.
Aggression. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, it's hostility insofar that it's like, listen, you're in our turf.
You can
just
passively
get out of
aggressively
here.
tell us to get out of here. That works for me. We're going.
Oh no! Well,
No one is
nothing passes.
whispering
No
"get
one
out"
else-
at you at the moment. That's a plus, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not referencing a Jordan Peele movie, so you're not in that much danger. Okay, so
Right, we're going. Not questioning this. Going.
sure. You cross over the log. It's not the. Actually, I need everyone to give me a martial arts check because you're crossing the log. Actually, no, Zhao, you don't need to give me one.
All right.
Aha! Exactly. Average.
None of you rolled below a 5. Good job.
excellent.
You all cross
Just
it.
as-
It is not what let's call an easy crossing. That's why I had you all roll. But
Right.
like it's a it creaks a bit alarmingly under Batu, but but you all get across. You all get across the makeshift bridge. Yuri,
Mm-hmm.
the dagger you threw into the woods before, thuds into the ground at front of your feet.
That's a nice
Thank you.
magic
No
trick.
hard feelings.
Thud. Aha.
Yep. No, I get it.
This is the episode of doing sensible things.
Right. All right. You travel on for a while longer. And you travel on for a good while longer. I would like everyone to give me another roll to deal with the narrow, unpleasant path of some sort. If you want to give me the same roll you gave before, that's fine.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Oh boy, I actually rolled poorly on intrusion.
God.
So what is the role we're trying to do here?
You're trying to find your way through. We're trying to find your way through a particularly difficult part of the pathing.
Okay,
Roll
so
them.
same roles as before,
Yeah.
effectively.
Sure. Yep.
All right,
If you
My
want
rolls
to
are
know.
so bad this episode. Jeez.
16.
All right.
I finally rolled a bad roll.
Yeah. All right. Well. All right. So thankfully, more than half the party actually succeeded. So hooray! So you guys, as a group, you are not slowed down. Like, Yuri and Olan get some minor sort of cosmetic sort of like scratches from like thorns or branches or things like that. Nothing too bad. Yuri, you stumble through a bit of poison sumac or the equivalent.
Oh no, this is gonna be awful for my complexion.
That's what you get.
What the hell? What did I do to deserve that?
Dumped itching powder down my back, obviously.
All right, I guess I can't argue that one.
I was gonna say, like, that is actually that's an easy thing to answer in the scheme of things.
It's
You walked into that one literally.
Shut up.
wow.
All right. But as you travel further on, it is starting to get dark.
Mm-hmm.
But you also no longer feel like you're being watched. Hooray!
Hooray!
Yay.
Climbing the tallest tree in the area,
Sure.
can I actually see the town from here?
All right, you climb the tree, and you think you can make out. It's a ways off. It'll probably be another like this. The route you're taking is definitely slower than the route you were taking the road for obvious reasons.
Right.
So you're guessing you'll have to camp somewhere in the woods overnight, but you should be able to get to the city tomorrow midday, at the pace you're going at.
All right. Well,
And if you want to go to the sorcerer's hut from the direction you were given, you probably arrive there at about early. You probably arrive early evening.
right. Okay. At the very least, I don't feel bad about camping here because, well, now there's a hell zone behind us. So if they do come from behind us, they have a problem. and it's
That's
not
a fair
ours.
point. You don't find anything anywhere near as nice a clearing or anything like that as you found last time, but you find a little area that you think you could probably camp for the night in.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough area in there that you could make a small fire without it, setting the forest on fire. There's some water. There's a stream not too far away, and there's enough like dry. There's enough kindling and such that you get a fire. You get a small fire going.
Mm-hmm.
So you find somewhere you can camp. It is, as I said, it is not optimal by any stretch of the imagination, but it also does not seem too good to be true. So
It doesn't seem to be trying to kill us. So, I'll take it.
Yeah, Xiao's opinion of the situation is basically like if that ambush was going to come and look for us, they would have had to go through the same thing we went through,
Yep.
and they
That's what I
probably
just
did.
said.
Yeah, did not have just a good time, so
Right.
we could probably safe to camp.
Yeah. Exactly.
all right, so you set up camp. If there's anything you want to handle in camp before moving on to the next day, we can do that.
Yuri is going to uncharacteristically just kind of like flop over and pass out because she has been putting in all the work today and she is tired.
It has been a bit of a stressful day for Yuri. Let's be real.
It's been a day.
It has been a day, yes. All right. Yeah, nothing happens during the evening. Because you are correct. If there were people hunting you, following you behind you, they had to pass through the woods behind you, and that would not be a good idea.
Yep.
Being in those woods at night is not a place you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it is morning. You set out, and the rest of the travel goes smoothly. The woods thin out. It's a reasonably nice day, not a great day. And you eventually emerge from the woods on the sort of the main road, and you can sort of see the road leading up to the. You get out onto the road sort of like late morning, and you can sort of see the road going on up over towards the city, or the local capital, and then off to the west, off to the east, you can see the forest that the sorceress told you about, where the rhododendron ritualist is hanging out. The other thing you do note is the sky is getting a little overcast.
I'm cool with this.
I mean,
Does not look like a big storm's
on-
coming in, but like, you know.
and listen, from what I understand, like storms just act weird here, as opposed to just moving on. So I don't understand. For all I know, it could start frittering frogs.
That seems unlikely.
Well, it's also unlikely they'll just stay in a place forever. I mean, come on. It's not how weather's supposed to work. This is the guy from the steps.
So, what are you doing? Are you guys going to the city or are you going to the woods?
I think we should go to the woods and beat up this and find out what we can know from this rhododendron ritualist.
Okay. That's one vote.
I agree. Like, we got damage on the road. Zhao wants some more answers.
Fair.
If we try and ignore it, it will probably actually come after us at this point. It seems like the thing that is kind of pressing.
So Yuri's line of thought is we should be restocking on provisions and perhaps getting some local information on that sorcerer before we head over there.
That is a good point. Heading to the city, I doubt we're gonna get hit with summoned snake monsters in the city.
As long as we don't linger too long, we shouldn't be hit with like any squads in anticipation of us.
That is a good point. Okay, I might be with Zhao might be with Yuri on this one then. Yeah.
Well,
I'm cool with whatever.
Okay, Olan's cool with whatever. Does Dalu have an opinion?
No.
Okay. Well, then it's currently 2-1.
All right, fine.
All right, so you head towards the city. It is a big... It is actually a legitimate city. Like, it is large. There are lots of people.
There's one ad on a board somewhere. Yeah, sure.
I am going to say that this hasn't really come up to be needed for Yuri so far, but given that disguise infiltration is the thing that she regularly does, she is not roaming around in her quote unquote casuals as they.
Okay, that's fine. Good to know. I mean, Batu kind of, you can't really, Batu really can't do
You
anything.
can't do much about Batu, but at the very least, Yuri can
right.
not draw attention to herself.
Batu, this is probably also the first like real city Batu's been to, so he's doing the whole like rube looking around, going, "Oh wow, look at all this shit."
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you walk into this, you arrive at the city and sort of,
Wow, this place stinks of human shit. Says loudly. It's a first century city. Like, I don't know how Japan was about,
Or China.
not Japan. China was about sanitation.
Honestly,
but
I honestly don't
historically,
know.
Cities smelled like shit back then. So.
I'm going to guess that they weren't exactly keen on that, so they probably had measures.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most people aren't keen on that. Doesn't mean they have measures.
They probably figured something. Anyway, go ahead.
It's
Michael.
okay. The audience can't smell it. Anyways.
True.
I'm actually genuinely curious. Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that might not be accurate then. Sorry. There's an article about like discovering like a 2,400-year-old flush toilet in China. And I'm sure going, really? And it's Chinese archaeologists. I'm a little skeptical.
I can buy it as like a one-off of somebody having a really, really primitive version of it, like the Doc Brown version of it, but like not anything remotely good.
I mean, no, it wouldn't be like a modern one, but like, I think they actually they had definitely had better sanitation than Europe in the era. I'll put it that way. From my
I have to apologize, Ash, but this is the obvious pun. No, they did not create the flush capacitor. So
there we go.
on.
But yeah, it's not like it's still not as it's not as nice as being like it's still crowded and there are lots of people. It's still and it's gonna be stinky. Like let's be real. Just because there are lots of people here. But you were at the gate. The guards at the gate sort of okay. They all sort of look in alarm at Batu, but they do see the not particularly the unwell looking but still official looking Inquisitor Zhao there, and
He just kind of waves to the guards.
they don't know who you are, but they recognize you're an official. Papers. I assume this group is with you, sir.
Yes, these are my. He's like searches for the word. He's like retainers.
May I see your papers, sir?
He does pull out his official.
Yep.
Badge of office and things that he needs for this.
Very well, Inspector Zhao. Your papers seem to be in order. These four. Okay. In that case, we just need to take down your names to list you down as officially as retainers of Inspector Zhao for the time here in the city. They just go through the list. So they point first at Batu. You, sir?
What? Huh?
Name?
Batu. What? Why do you care?
Just wasn't paying attention.
Writes it down.
He totally wasn't paying attention.
They need to know who you are because we are with Zhao, so they need to account for all of us accordingly.
Why?
Official business.
What are they, cops?
They're part of the government, so yes, to a degree, but also
I mean,
I don't
cops
talk
don't
to cops.
exist.
What's a cop?
Cops don't exist. This is not America post World War II, post the Civil War. Okay, so
okay,
they
fair
aren't
enough.
cops.
no.
Zhao's
These
just
are
like-
these are city guards.
Yeah.
They're watchmen.
Zhao is very much like, did you not see the giant wall separating our country from yours? We have a thing about keeping track of people that come into our country.
I thought we put that up to keep you guys from coming up here to steal our horses.
Zhao's just like, what?
Have you seen your horses down here? They're anemic. You have the worst horses.
You, ma'am, pointing over at Olan.
Hi, I'm Olan.
Olan, thank you. All right, you, ma'am.
Yuri is just going to belt out, one of her
One of her aliases.
Pseudonyms.
one of her aliases
Very
that
well.
is on low heat right now.
Sure. And you, sir.
Daolu, I'm going to assert, knows one of the guards.
Fair enough. See, it looks
they-
and
they-
you said, "Oh, Dalu."
Yeah. It's like, there's only just about, like, hello again.
It's been a while.
Yep. I'm just helping this one out.
Oh, fair
He's,
enough. We'll just jot you down as part of his party.
If you could actually recommend us to your best doctors or medicinal practitioners around,
There's an apothecary in town you can go see who's actually quite competent.
thank you. I think we will definitely look into that.
Hang on one second. I'm gonna get the name here. His name is Hoju.
Hoju, got it.
He gives you rough directions to his where he is. Very well. Welcome to the capital. Enjoy your stay. Please do not start instigate any fights or anything like that. And don't cause any trouble. That's all we ask. Enjoy your stay.
Still say you guys would steal our horses if we didn't have that wall built.
The guards seem to be paying you no mind at the moment. Now that they're like, okay, there's a Mongol here. Actually, Eric,
Yeah.
give me a notice check.
7.
That's good enough. All right. The one thing you kind of get the impression is that while they were very surprised to see you, you get the impression you're not the first Mongol they've seen here.
Of course not. People of culture clearly come here on occasion.
People of culture.
Sure. All right. So you all enter the town. Hooray, town. All right. What would you guys like? You guys said you wanted to stock up on provisions, and I guess you want to go to the apothecary.
Yeah, those things. Zhao is jeez. Should we take the time for him to send out his letters, get information about the snake kanji rubbing we got?
If you want to do that, you can send them from here. Absolutely.
Yeah, we also
whether
need
you'll get them
information
anytime soon or not is open for debate. But you know.
Yeah, he's probably not gonna get them today, but it'd probably a good idea for him to send out a missive, to that system, just contacts about
Sure.
about this. We also wanted to find out. He also wanted to find out about the potential hair, so he's also gonna be including that.
Sure, you can send out messages of sorts that you would like to.
Yeah, this seems like to be the good opportunity to get this, so we can just have that ready for when that
you could
needs to happen.
Yep, you could absolutely go somewhere to send out letters in a whatever capacity you would like, official or not.
All right.
If you guys want to stock up on supplies, that's dead easy. You're in a city; you can find whatever supplies you really need. If there's anything you particularly want to do, let me know. You're in a big city.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna trail the food stalls and
sure, there's
probably accidentally knock something over and hijinks will ensue.
So I will say the food here is quite good. I mean, some of it is. Some of it's there are lots of food stalls of varying quality. A lot of it's quite good.
I am going to say that Yuri will have planted a small pouch of high value currency down the back of Batu's shirt before she goes skulking off to do her own thing. Basically, kind of like all right, fine, sorry.
A bag of apology, got it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Apology bag, gotcha.
Sorry, burned down your village. Here's some gold.
Well, no, sorry for the.
No. I'm referencing an old magic card from one of the unglued sets.
I see.
That's literally the quote on it. Sorry, we burned down your village. Here's some gold. What card was that? But anyways,
so I know what Yuri is going to want to get up to.
Yeah, so there's Xiao needs to do the letters, and he also needs to go see the apothecary, obviously. So, anybody wants to come along with that would be a good idea. Might be a good idea considering otherwise he's walking the streets alone.
No,
very ill.
Dao Lu is going to specifically stay with Xiao persistently. That is Dao Lu, sort of like Dao Lu will not admit that he messed up helping Xiao. He's not incorrect that he didn't have the right tools, but he also messed up. So he's trying to specifically do what he can to ease Xiao's well-being and also protect him. Also, and very Jackie Chan ideas, walking around with someone who's injured, unwell otherwise, and having to protect them from assaultants. Be like, listen, we don't want any trouble, and immediately win the fight.
Yeah. Also, you gotta get your frying pan out of him after directly putting it into his stomach as part of the procedure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, iron supplements are very important, but I don't know if that's actually sanctioned. Also, I mean that procedure's a little rusty to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is the part of the episode where we have the guest director Stephen Chow doing all the comedy bits with
all right,
Batu and Zhao.
All right, so I'm actually going to ask you guys a question here.
All right,
is there anything in particular you want to do in the city that is there anything you guys want to do in particular in the city before I forget to ask you?
I was getting to that.
Okay,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What things? So what are things people looking to do right now? So I can.
So, in addition to it being her career, theft of valuable stuff is also Yuri's primary vice. Believe it or not.
Okay.
So, yeah, just kind of getting.
You're going to case some places. You want
to
to case some areas. Got it.
You're gonna
Yep.
window shop.
Window shop. That's a good way of putting
Okay,
it.
so you want a window shop for in case scenarios. Okay,
Yep. I have both info, arts and antiques, and info, gems, and jewels.
sure. You will. I'm not going to make you make any rolls right now, but I will
Gotcha.
say definitively you'll be able to find some interesting potential locations. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just that she's looking, she's also, going to like gambling houses or places of like, higher
Ill repute.
society, but not
Yeah.
high security society, where you can hear people talking about their latest acquisitions
sure.
and that kind of thing. So that's specifically what she's up
All
to.
right.
Okay.
Zhao,
Yeah,
you're-
um,
so Zhao and with Dao Long is looking to send us missives and eventually end up at the apothecary, correct?
Yeah, but he needs to do this without being detected by any potential assassins that we know are after him.
Yep.
See, that at least what I was wanting to happen. For me, it'd be like a fun, like a side
Yep.
scene of like Zhao and Daolu getting into some sort of
Yep.
scuffle that they have to deal with.
Yep.
That's sort of selfishly what I'd want to have
Yep.
happen.
That's.
I mean, Batu's not looking to lose anybody, but he's going to be easily distracted, and he's used to other people using him as the benchmark because he's taller than everyone else, than having
Alright.
to look for other people. So
Okay.
there's a good chance he's going to get lost.
I got you. Ulan, what are you doing?
So Olan's going to visit a local blacksmith.
Okay.
Specifically, she's going to try and find someone who tends to provide armor and weaponry for the local official guards.
Okay, sure.
And soldiers.
Good. All right. I've got things in my head now. All right. All right. We'll start with Olan. Olan, you actually come up.
Okay.
You actually are able to, by asking around a bit, you actually do find the blacksmith who does provide the gear for the city watch.
Nice.
It's
All
a reasonably sized shop. It's clean, well maintained. The blacksmith is you see the master smith is sitting behind the counter. You hear what you're guessing are his apprentices working in the back at the moment. But yeah, he's sitting at the counter, sort of fanning himself. It's a little bit warm, and it looks like he's taking a little bit of a break. He goes, can I help you, miss?
Hello. I was wondering actually a couple of things.
Yes.
The first is, oh god, it feels so nostalgic to be in a place like this again. I was wondering if I could actually use a bit of space, just to do some maintenance on some of my tools and weapons.
I take it I mean, sure. I could rent out a little bit of space if you'd like. Nothing too much. We're not too busy right
Okay.
now, so I could do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. He lists off a fairly reasonable price. It seemed like it sounds like the sort of price you would expect, basically.
Right. I would know if this was a ripoff.
Right. Exactly. But it's like you get the impression that like he might not say yes, but like he's not super busy right now, so yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Alana is just going to kind of like.
So he gets up and says, "Yeah, follow me."
All right.
You head behind you head into the back where the workshop is, and you can see a couple of his apprentices are working on a breastplate currently.
She's going to kind of like take a quick look at it, just like in passing.
It looks competently. It looks like they're doing a good job. It's clearly apprentice level work, not like master smith, but like it's the sort of thing that it makes sense. It would make sense for an apprentice to be working on at this stage.
She's going to kind of pause at it for about 3 seconds, and then look at the apprentices and kind of just smile at them, and give what does not make any sense for her to give in this in the context of this setting historically, but give them a thumbs up and then move on.
Okay. They look a little confused, but sort of shrug and go back to work. The master smith stops, looks for 5 more seconds, stops watching them work for about 5-10 seconds. Yeah, you may want to heat that spot up a bit more before working on it anymore. But good work so far. You can use that area over there if you'd like, ma'am, miss. Anything else? Anything else you needed?
Well, just kind of curious. I do see that your students are working on what looks like a suit of armor for the local guards. I assume that you're one of the primary people that they come to for that kind of
Yes,
work.
yes. This is repair. This is actually repair work they're doing right now.
Do you ever do any kind of like special orders for any of them?
Not for the guards, but for members of the governor's personal guard. Occasionally, yes. That stuff I work on myself.
Okay.
Like,
great. Do you know of any that haven't come to you for anything before?
That
like people that would be in a position where they would want something special made that have not approached you for it.
Oh, that's an interesting question. You can see he's going through. It's like nope. They've ordered something.
She's kind of like getting set up with like a couple of the personal tools that she's been traveling with and stuff.
All right. Hang on. Do I have a name for this guy already? I might have a name for this guy already.
Okay.
Yeah, actually. Interestingly enough, Captain Shun never actually ordered anything from me directly.
Captain Shun.
The captain of the governor's guard. But Nick, that is a name you recognize.
It's that guard specifically.
It is. No.
Oh.
Master Bai Lan from back at the temple, the sword master there.
Yeah.
This is one of the two guys, swordsmen he mentioned.
That's right. Okay.
The captain of the governor's guard, Captain Shun, and Gong, the sword master off to the northeast.
Okay. Well, then, yeah. Lan's face lights up. Just like, wonderful. Well, thank you for telling me that. I know that I'm paying you for this, but if there's anything that I can do to repay you this favor that you've done for me, I can be handy.
Oh, well, I mean, we're not pressed for anything right now, but if you want to help out a bit in exchange, I'm assuming that information was useful in some way. But if
you have no idea,
very well. If you want to sort of pay something back, I've got some like gardening tools and such that need maintenance work. If you'd be willing to do that.
Yeah. So
sure.
Let me just do this real quick.
Gardening tools, huh?
There we go.
23. Nice roll.
I'm actually much happier with that being a positive roll than anything else I could have used it for this session.
That's fair. No, yeah, it's all stuff that's like well made, but it's also been very heavily used and definitely needs like maintenance work. Yeah, this is all stuff from the governor's the gardeners the people working the governor's gardens. It's not they haven't brought it in for a while, so it needs a fair bit of work. So any work you can get done on that would be a big help.
Yeah, I work on a pair of shears, and they're so sharp afterwards that I have to be like, oh, hang on a second, and I deliberately dull them a little bit.
All right, I'm going to cut from you. We'll come back to this at some point, but I've got a couple things I want to do before. Anyways, Yuri, you have scouted a couple of shops that one store that sort of looks like it's mostly a jeweler's shop to sell high end stuff. You do note that they do have some fairly competent looking guards. Like they actually pay attention to security.
Right.
Like they've got. Honestly, like it took you a while to spot the guy, but you did spot one of the people who's like clearly a guard or watch of some sort, is someone who's being paid to be inconspicuous and not look like a guard.
Right.
It's like, oh, like he gives off that aura. He gives off sort of a bit of a dangerous aura.
Yeah, this guy isn't a guard. This is a loss prevention officer.
Yes, that would be a good way to put it. But the other thing you do go to you do get to is one of the more upper crust gambling halls to listen in on some conversations. You do hear a few rumors about a few things here and there. The other thing, I would like you to give me a detective roll. 14. Excellent. That's an excellent roll. You do notice that there is somebody in here who is keeping an eye on you.
Do you ever get the feeling you were being...
It's not. He's not trying too hard to not be noticed. He's actually a little bit shorter than average, but very sort of broadly built.
Right.
And he's a little short, broadly built, wearing his outfit looks. It looks like it's sort of a nice sort of outfit, but it looks like you sort of do pick up on little details that it's clearly been cut slightly differently than normally would be to make it easier to move in.
Right. So
you also notice he's got pretty heavy calluses on his hands.
Yeah, there's a telltale sign.
He is
So what
also
Yuri's going
very
to do-
conspicuously not armed.
Oh, you don't say. So what Yuri's going to do, seeing as how she is in disguise and, looking like she fits in right now.
Yeah, it's clear he's watching you
As,
for
kind of
some
a
reason, but
socialite.
it's not because he's ID'd you as you or as a thief or anything like that. He's just
Right.
like
Yeah,
it's clear
she's
he's
just going to kind of like flit about, being like, I belong here, casual, casual, casual. Oh, hello there.
Do I know you?
No, but I figure we can make ourselves acquainted. Everyone here is so wonderful.
Well, I do appreciate the sentiment, but I've unfortunately do have other things to do at the moment. But
Oh, do you?
I do,
What do
yes.
you do?
I make sure there's no trouble here in this establishment.
Oh, you do good things. I like that. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed.
And she's just gonna like keep being like vapid and buttery about like this whole thing, and just basically see if like this guy slips up at all and drops any more specifics, or if he gets sick of watching her.
Well, if that's it, ma'am, I do have to get back to my job.
Oh, all right. I don't want to get in the way of anything.
Thank
after
you,
all.
ma'am.
Keep up the good work.
Enjoy
And she'll just
enjoy
kinda-
your games, and just to let you know, I'm mostly here to make sure that nobody causes any trouble, as I mentioned. So we've occasionally had problems with people,
Fine.
pickpocketing and we're trying to steal from the casino and all that. It's very unfortunate. My job is to make sure none of that happens.
Well, I'm sure you do quite well.
I'm
I'm sure everything is all in good hands.
Indeed. You have a wonderful afternoon, ma'am. And he just sort of drifts off. You actually lose track of him pretty quickly.
Oh boy. Okay. New establishment.
It's like, yeah, it's okay. He just has somehow blend into the crowd for a while. You eventually spot him again.
Right. It's like,
Watching
okay, yeah, this guy knows
No, he's
what's
actually
up.
not watching her at this point.
Yeah. It's like I've deflected attention, but with that in mind, this is not worth messing with. So yeah, okay.
All right. Moving from you, Batu,
Yes.
you are at a food stall.
Yes.
You are enjoying things quite. The noodles here to die for.
Excellent.
As you sort of step back from the stall with a big thing of noodles, you back into what honestly feels like you're backing you're backing into a large draft animal.
I turn around.
You have backed into another large man wearing a very similar hat to you. You also
Oh, hey.
as you've done so, you as you sort of start turning around, you also hear the sound of what sounds like a bowl of noodles dropping to the ground and breaking.
Oh, bad luck, man.
Food's been wasted.
The guy's sort of turning around, sort of like looking. He's about your height, wearing a very similar hat to you. He's very clearly another Mongol. He turns around. He's wearing a slightly different outfit from your particular crew wore.
Right.
But it does look familiar.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That you have spotted it, Eric.
Uh-oh.
He looks like he might be from the tribe of your bride to be, as it were. You made me drop my noodles, you. Oh, another Mongol. Wait, you look familiar.
Oh no.
And we're cutting
I don't
to.
see how I could.
What? Sorry, was that Eric?
I don't see how I could.
Right.
Here, let me buy you another bottle thing of noodles. Well,
All right.
I gotta
And
get going.
We're going to cut from here over to Daolu and Zhao. As you're making your way
Right.
through the streets, you come to a bit of a. You realize that it's gotten a bit quieter than the other areas you're in. I would like a notice/detective check from you two.
All right. I'll throw it.
Notice.
Oh, jeez. That's an 11.
Oh dear.
All right. And you two are both caught off guard by a pair of two individuals, a small group of individuals dropping in around you.
Yep.
They're all wearing sort of they're dressed in sort of shades of gray, sort of that different shades of gray and green and such that blends well into the shadow, better to the shadows than actual blackwood. They're all wearing sort of face masks, and they're all armed, and they have their weapons drawn.
All right. I have to say the line.
Yep.
Just like Daolu immediately raises his hands, kind of interposing himself in front of Zhao's like, okay. Listen, we don't want any trouble. We're trying to go to an apothecary here. All right.
Right. And that is where we're going to end the session.
All right.
On a little bit of a small cliffhanger.
I like how, despite being the one actively going out to get into trouble, Yuri's the only one who didn't get in trouble.
Oh no, Olan didn't get in trouble, and you may not be out of the woods yet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like.
But that is where we're going to wrap this session, folks. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back in hopefully a couple of weeks, and we'll see you all then. Till then, take care, everybody.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
buddy.
Awesome.
Goodbye.